Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Harry Maguire, the Manchester United captain. What now? More details come of this arrest in Greece and he's in the dock again tomorrow. A second night in prison for Harry Maguire. But innocent until proven guilty. We'll be talking about that and United behind Harry, as we should be, I believe, over the next while. Also, we'll be talking about Gabriel. Does that escalate our move for him? Excitement around Jadon Sancho and Chelsea signing another player. But as you can see on my left, this show is sponsored by Boohoo Man. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring the show today. As you can see, I'm wearing one of their clothing items, Boohoo Man, and the link is in the video description for any items you want to get yourself. Big shout out to Boohoo Man as well. They've given United Stand viewers a 40%, massive 40% off their clothing range. The link is in the video description and the code to use is United Stand on checkout. Not capital letters, no capital letters, all lowercase United Stand for a massive 40% off. And if that wasn't enough, they're also giving one person, a lucky person, £800 voucher to spend at Boohoo Man. All you've got to do is get in the comments with which 3 Manchester United players share the record for goals scored in a season. Teenagers. Which 3 Manchester United teenagers share the record for goals scored in a season? Get your comments in below with your 3 players and we will be picking a winner at random on Sunday night at 7 PM and announce the winner at 8 o'clock on the 23rd, which is Sunday night as well. So a big thank you to Boohoo Man for that. Links in the video description, like I say, 40% off. I'm wearing a bit of their Boohoo Man clobber tonight. And also you can win an £800 voucher by answering that question. I'll be reminding you of that later in the show. But on with the show, what a day it's been for Manchester United. I mean, look, I saw this story breaking this morning about Harry Maguire being arrested in Greece, and I thought it was going to be a joke. I mean, there's that little clip that I saw on Twitter today when Lucas said Harry Maguire's the sort of guy when there's a fight in a pub, he runs the other way. I mean, it was a joke about his lack of leadership skills. It appears something has gone on like that, and it's ended up with Manchester United captain, our captain, Harry Maguire, in prison, locked up last night, or in a cell, I should say, and in a cell for the second night in a row. His lawyer was confident that he would get him out today. He's confident he'll get him out tomorrow as well, but he will go before the courts tomorrow in Greece and spends a second night in prison. It's disappointing, of course it is, because Manchester United is a proud football club, and being the captain of Manchester United is a very, very, very prestigious thing to do. I'm tempted to say what a prat, but I'm also more tempted to say innocent until proven guilty. What we know, if people don't know, and I feel a little bit like we're doing a law program or something like that, but it is big news. But what I would just say, first of all, is many of you, and myself included, would take Jack Grealish at Manchester United. Let's not forget in lockdown that Jack Grealish, and I've not heard of any further criminal charges, Jack Grealish's car was found early in the morning, left in the middle of a road. And he'd apparently been at a party. Now, 2 and 2 together was maybe Jack Grealish had been partying, crashed his car, had too much to drink and legged it. We've never heard anything further about that. And yet many people would take him at Manchester United. Now, of course, Jack Grealish is innocent. That was speculation back then. There's never been any charges brought about him. And I say that for the very simple reason. Harry Maguire's been arrested. As we know, from the information that's coming out of Greece, 3 people were arrested. One of them was Harry Maguire. This was to do with a brawl on the street between 2 sets of lads. Only 3 arrested. Interesting. Harry Maguire, one of those. 2 officers. The reason they were arrested is that 2 officers have been assaulted, trying to restrain them. These officers have been assaulted, and also there's an accusation of bribery. Now, look, worst case scenario, people are saying, oh, Harry Maguire's punched a police officer and then tried to bribe him. I mean, that's completely speculative. That is not what we know. I cannot. I mean, look, you could go to prison for a couple of years for that. You know, in this country, in the UK, you punch a police officer and then try and bribe him, you're going to go to prison. So, look, it's very, very serious charges. That's what I would say first of all. However, Harry Maguire apparently denies being involved, and I would imagine those police officers know who hit them. And if Harry Maguire's just been arrested as part of those inquiries, we would hope that he's out tomorrow, and we can move on from there. But I think that's the first thing for this. Innocent until proven guilty. He's Manchester United's manager. We should stick behind our players. There is no damning evidence that he's involved that I've seen yet, and therefore I back Harry Maguire as Manchester United captain and as a Manchester United player. And if he's out tomorrow, then he's out tomorrow, and we don't need to do anything more about it. The ramifications for him as a captain of Manchester United, well, I said before, forget what he's done in Greece. I don't think he should be the captain anyway. But look, maybe there is a decision that United need to make after this around that. But it's aggravated assault, attempted bribery, and this is to do with this morning I thought it was to do with the fight that they'd allegedly been involved in, but these charges relate to abuse and assault of the police officers who came to break the fight up, apparently. So we will see what happens. What we do know is that Marcus Rashford and Brandon Williams and snooker player Judd Trump were all with Harry Maguire on the afternoon at a beachside party. He was also out there with his girlfriend/wife and sister. There's no suggestion that Brandon Williams or Marcus Rashford were with him on the evening. It's just odd. I just find it really odd. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If we're being run like a business, it's not a very good one. Need to spend money to make Ed. We need quality players for Champions League, says Chris. We'll come to all that in a minute. There is developments around Gabriel from Romano, Sancho as well. Hi Mark, how's life? Love the content. I hope for Maguire's sake he isn't going to be defending himself in court, says Stephen Nolan. And the jokes continue. But to me, I'll just keep saying what I say. I like Harry Maguire. I don't like him as a captain. But I like Harry Maguire as a footballer. I think he's a good player. I would have liked Koulibaly last summer. I think we all would have done that. But I was happy with Harry Maguire. I think he's got a good future at United as a footballer. And I just don't think, and I don't know the guy, I just don't think this is in character. I don't think the way he conducts himself on the football pitch, the way he conducts himself off the football pitch in front of the media, I just don't think Harry Maguire is the sort of person to get drunk and go and punch a police officer. I just think it's totally not what we see him to be. I mean, even the old arm on the thing in England when he was playing for England and all the little memes from that, he seems like a grounded, level-headed young man. So I err on the side of caution here, that innocent until proven guilty. We'll find stuff out tomorrow. I mean, and also remember, he's a very rich young man. He can get the best lawyers. Manchester United can provide him with the best lawyers as well. I'm sure there's going to be some wiggle room here. I mean, look, politically, I don't know what can and can't be done. What I would say as well, I saw the CCTV of what Steven Gerrard did. We all saw it. It was released, and Steven Gerrard got off at court. So, look, money talks in this world. I'm not saying money's going to get Harry Maguire off, because hopefully Harry Maguire's innocent anyway. But I'm not concerned about prison sentences or anything like that. I think Manchester United first of all need to get Harry Maguire out of Greece and back home, and then they can address it from there. I think as a fan base, we don't need to be critical of Harry at all until we know what the full story is. And, you know, as I said, innocent till proven guilty. Let's just wait and see what happens. Whether he should be the captain of Manchester United or not, look, if I'm the manager of Manchester United, he's not my captain anyway next season, because I think it should be Bruno Fernandes or somebody else. But after this incident, if he has got involved in something and he's been very lucky to get away with it, I would say that's not the way a Manchester United captain should be conducting himself, and I'd strip him of the captaincy. If he's totally innocent and he's got caught up in something that anybody could have got caught up in, then that's a different matter, and I expect Ollie will stick by him. Any good news? How's your day? Says Danny Stuland. Good day. Good news. Well, look, it's football, isn't it? It's football, and it's Manchester United, and we're always going to be box office. And I do agree. Look, you know, if this was Paul Pogba or Anthony Martial or Bruno Fernandes, I think the press would be on it a lot more than they are. If Harry Maguire goes to jail for a significant amount of time, then what do we do, says Yazza. Well, I think Manchester United would be, I'd hate that to happen. I'd hate that to happen because I think, look, I've been a young man at times. I've been a man that has drink. I've done silly things when I've been drunk, and I've been in clubs when people, I've been attacked in clubs. I've seen my mates get into fights in clubs. Do you stand back? It's almost a badge of honour not to do that. You back your mates and stuff. So I sympathise with a situation I don't even know about really. But if he's out on a night out and his mates have been in a fight and he's tried to break it up and then he's been arrested, then I sympathise with that situation. But we need to know what the truth is, and that we don't know what the truth is at the moment. So for me, I think you should always try and give somebody the benefit of the doubt. I really hope it's nothing bad, because what would happen is if he did go to prison for any significant amount of time, I'm sure it's breach of contract and Manchester United could basically stop paying his wages and maybe, I don't know what they could do then. So you don't wish that on anybody. I think tomorrow will be a better day for Harry, and I think it will be a better day in relation to clarity about what's happened. If he gets kept in prison tomorrow, there's a problem. If he gets released tomorrow, like his lawyer expects, then I'm not too hot, pardon the pun, on Greek judicial system. So obviously he could post bail. He's got the money to do that, but it depends. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Hi Mark, what makes you so confident that we'll splash over 100 million on Sancho? That makes our net spend about 150 million because Bruno was part of our summer budget. We always do 50 to 70 net spend, says Sander Spangolo. Because I expect Manchester United to do that. I expect Manchester United to sign Jadon Sancho. And look, you haven't reminded me, there's a lot for us to get through. Daniel Edlington says, being a former police officer and knowing how hard the job is, if he's guilty of attacking a cop, would it piss you off and want him gone? Says Daniel Edlington. I mean, look, I haven't been a police officer for a long time. I used to cover Birmingham City Centre in my very early years, and a lot of that was turning up to bar fights, breaking people up, kicked in the head, glass flying everywhere. It's a thankless job when you're turning up to break people up fighting, and I would not have any sympathy with Harry Maguire if he has punched a police officer, but I just don't think he has. And that's only a hunch. I just don't think he has. And look, I have got no sympathy with the Greek police, other than I hope that they were doing their job properly, and I hope that the accusations that they're making against our captain are well-founded ones. But I don't have sympathy with them, because I always think that people, the whole point of a judicial system, the whole point of the law, is that you are innocent until proven guilty. If the evidence there and it stands, then you've got to deal with it. If the evidence isn't there and it's not happened, then you can tarnish reputations. What if Harry Maguire is just caught up in something he hasn't done? He spent 2 nights in a jail for it. So I would wait for the evidence to come in on it. It's got nothing to do with me being a police officer in my past or anything like that. I worked as a detective for many years, and if you've got no evidence, you've got no case. So let's see what happens with that. I've spoken to Michael Schofield to break into the prison, so relax, Harry, be home by midnight, says Robert McCormack. And so let me just talk a little bit about transfer news. We can carry on talking about Harry all night, but the situation is that it will resolve itself, I'm sure. Mark, Chelsea just signed Chilwell. Thoughts as football skills. If somebody can tell me how much Chilwell is being signed for, because somebody said 50 million, and if he's gone for 50 million, we've had our pants pulled down. Forget Harry Maguire, nothing like that when he's in prison, but you forget Harry Maguire in a Greek prison. Let's go back to the fraud of last year involving Harry Maguire. That's got nothing to do with Harry Maguire. If Leicester took £80 million off us for Harry Maguire and they're letting Chelsea have Chilwell for 50 million, that exposes how crap we are at negotiating and how we desperately need a director of football, because Chilwell should not be £30 million cheaper than Harry Maguire. They should be roughly around the same price. Chris Hughes was with Maguire and he had some bruises on his face, says QOT Yoppy. I don't know who Chris Hughes is. United will pay Maguire's bail in instalments, says Bryce Jones. Maguire might be stuck in prison then. People have done worse. Don't worry, lads. Sorry for the name. Bloody kids. Sancho incoming, says Dixon. It is being quoted as £50 million for Chilwell. Well, I don't know how many years he's got left on his contract. Maybe somebody can tell us. But that is a bloody joke. If Chilwell's got... Personally, I don't rate Chilwell that much, I've got to be honest. I think defensively he's not as good as he is going forward. I'd much rather have Luke Shaw, and I know some people don't agree with me on that, but I've seen a lot of Chilwell. I know a few Leicester fans, and they want him gone anyway. They don't rate him defensively. But £50 million for Chilwell. I mean, there's multiple things with this. One, Chelsea doing more business. They've already got Havertz, Werner and Ziyech, and now they're going to get Chilwell. I mean, that's big business. That's ambitious. It's big spending. Well done to Chelsea. But how do you spend £80 million on Harry Maguire and then the following year Chelsea go and get their left back for 50 at nearly half the price? That's embarrassing. It just shows how crap we are at doing deals. Sounds like United could do with some decent lawyers. Think Man City knows some, says Jonathan Phantom. Free the fridge, says Wadu. And people are... Yeah, we've done that one. Okay, so yeah, let's just see what happens on that. He has 3 quarters left on his contract. Check Fab's tweet, says Ned Flanders. That's ridiculous then. So he's got loads of years left on his contract and they've got him for 50 million. It's just another example. And, people will be moaning about Chelsea being more proactive in the transfer window, which is fine and that's fair enough. But how's about this? Chilwell's got loads left on his contract and he goes for 50 million. A year ago, Leicester took us for 80 million on Harry Maguire. It's a joke. An absolute joke. If United get Sancho, Chelsea get Havertz, City get Koulibaly and Liverpool get Thiago, what's your top 4 prediction? Liverpool, City, Chelsea, United. Anthony, because Jadon Sancho is not enough if Chelsea are getting Havertz, Werner, Ziyech and Chilwell. That's 4 players to our 1. It's not enough. Mark, no time to waste with Maguire in holidays. We need to know is there will be action from United stand against the Glazers or just talking as usual, says Ashwin. What action are you talking about? I tell you what, who needs to lead the action against Manchester United. Manchester United supporters trust. And all the fanzines. You're the top Reds. You're the Manchester-based people who've got connections in the club. You're the ones who should be doing it. You've got members that pay for it. We're a fan. We're just a fan channel. We're not from Manchester. We're not proper fans. So why should we lead anything against the Glazers? Chelsea equals City next year, says Adana. And Mark, what happened with Maguire, says Daniel. Maybe check the news. Romano tweeted Thiago talking to Chelsea as well, says Rasmus. And a person has told me that Jadon Sancho deal will be announced after the Harry Maguire incident has been dealt with. He had his medical yesterday, apparently, says Daniel Pollard. Bollocks. What a crock of shit, Daniel, you've swallowed there. We haven't... The situation with Jadon Sancho, I was going to tell you, is there was a bit of an update from The Athletic, and they were saying that United players are excited about Jadon Sancho coming to the club. There's also a story in the Telegraph saying that Sancho's told players at... and it's Thiago Silva at Chelsea, not Thiago. Telegraph are saying that Sancho has let it be known at Dortmund that he's happy to stay there for another year. The situation on Jadon Sancho, and until it changes, I can't really give you anything else. Manchester United have to pay the money that Dortmund wants. But I knew this from day one. This is not a development for me. And many of you will have known this. I knew Dortmund would want what they want for Sancho. And United have got to pay it. And if United pay it, then Jadon Sancho will be a United player. And I think that United will pay it. So I'm very confident that Sancho will come. Now, some people might say you're stupid. But I totally expect Manchester United to pay the fee for Jadon Sancho. And I expect Jadon Sancho to be a Manchester United player. I'm confident. I'm 90%. That's the way I am. Because I do not see how Manchester United can walk away from this deal. It would be the biggest L in the world. And my friend just said Martial is lazy and not top 5 in the league and said Sancho is another Dele Alli. Can you put some sense into him? This is Star Wars Galaxy. Sometimes people will be a lost cause when it comes to football opinion. He's probably an Arsenal fan. We need players, but don't look at Chelsea too much. Remember when Spurs bought too many at once, as Mitesh. Yeah, but you know what? When Spurs bought all those players, did you really go, ooh, Capoue. Ooh, everyone else they bought, did you go there? Great. I mean, look, to be fair, Werner, Havertz and Ziyech. I mean, look, I don't rate Chilwell, I'll be fair. I don't rate Chilwell. But Werner, Ziyech and Havertz, I would take all 3 of those at United. So I can't knock Chelsea for signing them players. Please smash a like on the video if you're watching. Nearly 18,000 watching. Lots still to get through. Expect United to announce Dean Henderson, Pogba's new contract in the next few days to put the pressure off Maguire's situation, says Connor Patrick. Just on when Jadon Sancho will get announced, by the way. I don't think it's anything to do with Harry Maguire. As I said, and my guy said this to me 3 weeks ago. He said, when all that noise that Sancho was about to sign, he said to me, and I said it on the show, I wouldn't be surprised if this deal doesn't happen till after the Champions League, Europa League finals. I think any time from Tuesday it can start happening. It won't happen on Tuesday, but I think any time from Tuesday it's going to start escalating because ultimately 3 weeks tomorrow the Premier League starts. So next week you're 2.5 weeks out. We've got to start making moves. But I don't think United want to be doing stuff when the Europa League and the Champions League's are on because they want the glamour of being the total focus. I expect United to have done that one, and we need Pomanda says, I'm not getting carried away as Williams had a weak end to the season, but there has been world-class right-footed left-backs. Maldini, Zambrotta, Lam, Brendan has had a promising breakthrough season. So Pominda is likening Brandon Williams to Maldini and Philip Lahm. You know, wonders will never cease. Let's be honest, I wouldn't take the Greek justice system point of view, as Greece is a safe haven for, I can't say that, DAZUW, but if anyone read it, they can. Let me just talk to you about this, though. Fabrizio Romano, just before I came live, basically gave an update on the Gabriel situation. We spoke about it this morning. Arsenal favourites to sign him. And Manchester United have only held talks and it's not expected to go any further. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that. Arsenal, want to get the deal done. Manchester United at this stage, it's just talks. They haven't spoke to Lille. I wonder, and it's a speculative wonder here, with the situation with Harry Maguire, if Harry Maguire is seriously in trouble, and we don't think he is, but we don't know he is. But if Harry Maguire was facing a trial in Greece and prolonged time in Greece, that's your most expensive centre-back, your captain, but also your best centre-back on paper. Does that force Manchester United to think, shit, we needed a left-sided centre-back anyway. If there's problems with Harry Maguire over the next season, Gabriel for 20 million or 23 million is a deal we need to do fast time. So I just wonder whether what's happened with Maguire and the maybe potential uncertainty, because United will know exactly what's going on. They will have spoken to the lawyer. And in a worst case scenario, if there is any potential that Harry Maguire is going to have to go to court and face, genuine charges, then Man United are going to have to do something about that. Otherwise, you're going to see Lindelof and Eric Bailly at centre-back and Phil Jones as the backup. So maybe that might force Man United's hand, but maybe United's hand should be forced anyway. Mark, by action, if we're going to like a massive protest against Glazers, I'm asking you because it's easy for you as a leader, says Ashwin. I'm not leading anything against the Glazers, to be honest with you. I've told you, every summer we see Glazers out trending because we haven't signed players, and then as soon as the transfer window's over, everyone shuts up. Look, if we sign Jadon Sancho next week, everyone will be saying the Glazers are brilliant. So have a little bit of patience. Let's see where we are over the next couple of weeks, because it's not great what we're doing. Chelsea are making us look weak, but if we get Jadon Sancho, the mood will change. Sancho bid has been submitted, 90 million up front, total 120 million, says Alan Bintz. Don't know where he's getting that from. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you? Do you think Maguire will be stripped of the captaincy? If so, will Bruno or Pogba be new captains, says Jerome T. Green. On purely footballing terms, I would take the captaincy off Harry Maguire and give it to Bruno Fernandes anyway. So that's my footballing opinion. I think Bruno Fernandes would be a better captain. I can't speculate on having the captaincy stripped off him because we don't know what the facts are. And at the moment, I would say you can't strip the captaincy off him if he's innocent. And at the moment, you're innocent until proven guilty. If he gets done and charged, then they'll have to take the captaincy of him because it's a marketing nightmare. Mark, what are your thoughts on bringing back Memphis Depay? Says Arch. Not for me. Not for me. Good player, but not for me. I wouldn't be taking him at Manchester United, if I'm absolutely honest. This point in time, how many signings will we make, says Vizero. Well, I think that we need to make 2 or 3 signings. And one of those players has got to be Jadon Sancho, another one's got to be a midfielder, and another one's got to be a left-footed centre-back. That's what United need to do. I think the gauntlet's been laid down by Chelsea. They're making some good signings. Man City are making some signings. So you can't just keep the same news. You can't just keep the same story at Manchester United. We need to evolve. We made good steps in getting up to the Champions League in third. But this team has still got a big question mark over it. I really hoped tonight we would be playing a Europa League final. I can't bring myself to watch it, I was going to do a watch-along on That's Football. I can't do it. I can't because I'm not over it. I'm not. And it's interesting when you look at these pictures of Maguire and Rashford and Williams all on holiday, all having a drink, all having a good time. I've got no problem with that, by the way, but I hope in the back of their heads and hearts they're feeling what we feel as well. I just can't watch that game tonight. I'm so disappointed that we're not in it. I don't think Sevilla are a good team. I think Inter will win it. I think it's a little bit embarrassing considering Young and Lukaku and Sanchez play for them. Supposed United rejects, who I would happily sell if I had the opportunity again. But I think it's embarrassing. But also, the main thing I was going to say is that the reason we need to invest and, revitalise this team is because we did finish in third, but our last bit of football of the season was bottling a semi-final against Sevilla. If we'd won the Europa League, we would have rolled into next season as confidence. I don't think we go into next season as total confidence. I think we go into next season knowing that we can still bottle any game. And that was the mentality we needed to smash up in the Europa League. In that team still knows it can bottle games, even with Pogba and Bruno on the pitch, and Martial and Greenwood. So you've got to revitalise that team, because if you send the same team out next season, it's in their head. We're still the same team as last year. We can still drop points. So United do need to revitalise that team. We need 2 or 3 players, and the onus is obviously on the owners to do that. Welcome to the members club from Zahir M93. Please do become a member if you want to. The join button's there. You get your badge next to your name. And thanks for supporting the channel in that way. We don't do Patreon or anything like that. So become a United Stand member, get a badge next to your name and support the channel. Really appreciate that. Craig Kalami says, are you comfortable with Fred being our backup CDM all season, or would you like to buy someone in January? I like Fred in that role, says Craig. I think in the last couple of games, Fred's done quite a good job as a CDM. I like his energy. I think against Sevilla he played well, but I think he can play better the more he plays that role. I don't like McTominay in that role. I'd rather see McTominay filling in for Pogba as a box-to-box. So, we're not going to buy a CDM. Somebody just said in the live comments, what about Kante? Kante's a very good player, but I don't think we'll be going for Kante. Chelsea are possibly going to sign 5 players and we haven't even done one. Let's not cry, says Neil. Well, look, I think the next 2 or 3 weeks are really, really interesting, how that's going to work out. Harry is a silly man, says Lil. Surprised if we get 3 players. Hope it's so, says Steve Church. And Mark, who would you rather have, Hassim Oar or Van der Beek? I'd take either, Edward Johnston. I would take either. I really like Oar at Lyon, and I like Van der Beek. And I really do wish Manchester United do go and get Gabriel. And if Arsenal get him, fair play. I want to see United using the European Scouting Network. I mean, look, can I just say this? This is the only negative thing I'm going to say about what's happened in Greece. In Greece, you've got Rashford, Rashford, Williams and Harry Maguire, beachside drinking, poolside drinking. A couple of weeks ago, we had Maddison, Grealish and Dele Alli in a club drinking. I'm sorry, and whether it's true or not, stereotypically, English players do this. They're out drinking on their holidays. It's a culture thing. Do you, and maybe you do, but I've never seen it. Do you see Bruno Fernandes and Ruben Neves and Cristiano Ronaldo out in a club in Ibiza drinking? Do you see Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard and another Belgian player drinking? I just think foreign players, stereotypically, are more professional than English players. And they're also cheaper, and a lot of the time they're better. It's the whole package. Look at Juan Mata. I think we misused Mata as a winger, but if we played him as a number 10, he's still a player that's looked on with fondness. So I really do want us to move away from the Brexit FC, British focus, because I don't think it matters. I think it's something that Ollie wants to do. He wants to bring British talent in for the camaraderie maybe, but Ollie's Norwegian. Eric Cantona was French. Schmeichel, Danish. Jaap Stam. We've always had Ruud van Nistelrooy, Ronaldo. I think some of our best players have been foreign players, and we've got a really good record with it. And I'd love to see us, going down that foreign route a little bit more. I feel sorry for Ollie if we only get 1 player in the summer, and that player is not Sancho. Mark my words, says Omar. Bruno or Pogba for captain. Although we have the most clean sheets in Europe, our defence has cost us what should have been a trophy season, says Jack Hutton. What do you think about buying Dwight McNeil and converting him into a left back, says Shinj. I don't think we'll do either, mate. Is there any truth in the Grealish deal with Romero going to Villa, says Mark Giroux. And it's sad that I will see people blaming the Sevilla match on the attack, the defence who lost us the match, says Jerome T. Green. Yeah, I mean, look, in a footballing sense, Harry Maguire was very poor that night, both as a captain and as a player, as was Lindelof at times, as was Wan-Bissaka and as was Brandon Williams. We need to sign players. I am going to play a bit of Fall Guys, Roberto. I'm not watching the Europa League, so I'm going to go straight on to Twitch after this. TUSFC and play Fall Guys. So if you're somebody who's not going to watch the Europa League final, watch me play a bit of Fall Guys for an hour. I'll be doing that in a minute or two. But yeah, look, we need to get active in the transfer window. Of course we do. Harry Maguire to prison. Here we go. Says Fabrizio Romano. Obviously it's not the real one. That was a comment in our comments. But look, I just want to reiterate, it's very, very, very important that if you are a United player, United behind Harry. That's what you should do. We don't know the full facts of what's gone on, so we should be behind Harry Maguire. And I think that obviously if he's found to have done something, then you address that then. Let the haters hate, let the rivals banter. At the moment, I think as United fans, we've got to get behind Harry. We've got to see what happens with him. He's a United player. I'd expect us to do it with all United players. You're innocent until you're proven guilty. Let's see what happens. Look, alleged bribery and assaulting an officer, a police officer, is not good charges, but they are alleged charges at the moment. He's not guilty of it, and we must stick by him. On the transfer side, which is what we really want to be focusing about, let's see what happens after Monday. I don't think United are going to do anything until the Champions League is over, for whatever reason. So I think next week's a big week for United, but we need to start moving on some deals. And look, you know, if we do start talking to Lille about Gabriel and we get Sancho, that's 2 quick signings done in the space of a week or 2. And suddenly you're like, maybe that's our summer done. Or maybe we get a midfielder later on. On Grealish, speaking to a few Villa fans, because that's the area I live in, they don't even know what's happening with Grealish. They won't you know, they're not like Dortmund. He's staying, shut up United fans. When I speak to Villa fans, they're like, we hope he's staying, but we don't know whether he is. I suspect he'll go in and speak to the chairman, and that's what will be decided from there. Fabrizio Romano has given an update on Chilwell to be completed in the next few days. Thiago Silva is on, final answer next week, and Chelsea are negotiating with Bayern, preparing a new bid on Havertz. So yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing how it works. I can't see my live comments. Let me get back. Lukaku's just won a penalty in the game in that, by the way. Can I just say thank you very much to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the video today. I'm wearing their clobber. You can get yours. The link is in the video description. And they are exclusively giving new United Stand members, United Stand viewers, sorry. You can be a member, of course, with your badge next to your name like Flex47. But to anybody watching this video, a United Stand viewer, you can click the link in the video description and get a massive 40% off the Boohoo Man clothing range. Make sure when you put your clothes into your basket and you check out, use the code UNITEDSTAND, all lowercase, no capitals, 40% off. And there is an additional bonus of an £800 voucher to spend at Boohoo Man by answering our question, which is, which 3 teenagers hold the record for goals scored in a season as a teenager for Manchester United? 3 players are locked on the same amount as the best teenagers, I suppose, goal-scoring teenagers for Manchester United. 3 players from Manchester United's past, including this season just gone, who are level on the same amount of goals scored for a teenager in a single season. They hold the record. Which 3 United players or former United players are they? Get in the video description for the Boohoo Man 30% off, and if you want to enter for the Boohoo Man £800 voucher, get your answer to that question in the comments, and we will be choosing somebody at random at 7 o'clock on the 23rd, which is Sunday, and we'll announce a winner on the 8 o'clock show on Sunday. Thanks very much to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the video, and thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back with you if there's any breaking news, of course, but we'll be back tomorrow morning as well with the latest news for United. I'm going to go and play a bit of Fall Guys on Twitch, TUSFC. If you're going to watch the Europa League final, that's up to you. I just can't do it. Speak to you soon.